we're going to race. Right, so good. Well, this is the video of the repair the Range Rover from, if you watched my short, you'll know we broke down, but I managed to bodgify it to get it home, and now we're home and it's a few days later. So this is the old alternator belt, and it's shredded, and the reason it's shredded is because the hydraulic pump that controls the active anti-roll bars failed and seized. Now, I haven't got the time, and I'm not willing to spend the money to replace that pump just yet. This weekend we need the car, it's got to be on the road for Monday. There's no time to get a pump and there's no time to do anything, so I've come up with a plan. Now I've got another belt here. That belt is shorter than what this belt is because that's off a different Range Rover. Now this Range Rover had the active cornering stability from factory, but it was an option, so we've got an option to run it without it, so that's what we're going to do. So I've got some viscous fan spanners, I've got my go bag, a lying down mat, a steppy so I can reach in without too much trouble. I've got one of these Blue Point spanner kits. I use that on everything, you'll have seen it in all my videos. It's the best 300 and whatever pound I ever spent in my life. And I've got my torch, which is flat in the center because I run it over, but it still works. I've also got a well-known energy drink to keep me going because that's a must in this situation. So we're going to get into the Range Rover now, and we're going to see what I can do to just make it work. Granted, we won't have active cornering stability once I've done this, so I don't recommend that you do it yourself, or if you do it, don't do it off the back that I said it was okay. It's not okay, but it's going to work for me to get this running for next week until I can find a reasonably priced second-hand one or come up with a plan. I may just take the whole system off and run it with normal anti-roll bars, but I don't know yet, so here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to get rid of this cover, the boost pipe here, that plastic widget there, and the viscous fan, and then we'll get into it and I'll show you what's going on. You're not going to want to watch me just taking covers off, you want to get in there. Right, so the viscous fan was really hard to get off. I had to use a holding tool because the belt was off it as well, so it was swinging around everywhere, but now we can get that out, and I've unplugged it all. Out you come. Right, so there's the viscous fan, and you can see it's controlled by the ECU as to how much cooling it gives the engine. So now we've got a big space down the front, we can get in there. Right, so down here we can see there under the alternator and the tensioner, this pump here is the pump in question, which is left the chat. There she is down there. It looks a bit broke, so we're going to be doing away with that. She ain't going back in, so now I've got to see what I can come up with. So the nice new jack is coming to its own that the wife got me for Christmas. I'll get that under there. So you can see there now where I've put the cable tie to just drive the water pump, and there's the pump that's seized. So we're still trying to figure it out, but I'll come back to you shortly when I've found a fix. So we're in the lounge of Bodge modificationery. So what I've got here is another tensioner that I removed from it from a different place, and I've put a CBR 125 bearing on there. There's a spacer to space it out with a longer bolt because I need it to be in that position, and then I'm going to put that where the original tensioner went, and then on this side by here there's a little whirligig that moves back and to when you loosen it off, so that's going to become my tensioner, and then I'm going to get the belt on and tension it that way, and hopefully it's going to work, but there's no guarantees. I'll just have to take it for a good drive once I've done it and see whether it'll just get me through a few days. So it's getting dark and my big torch has died, so we're working via Christmas lights. But when my big torch is charged up, I'll bring you back and show you exactly what I've done and how I've done it. But again, don't do this at home. This is just desperation to get it back on the road. Right then, it is pitch black, and I've been at this a while now, and I'm not proud of what I've done, but I am proud at the same time. I think it's going to work. I've got it all on there and it's going the right way, but I've had to re-engineer a lot of things. The pump that failed is now surplus to requirement. This is also now surplus to requirement. So's this. We don't need that, but there's a belt on there, and all the whirlies are going to whirly in the right direction, I'm hoping. So I'm going to clear all my tools off and just give it a little go. So I've put it all together now, and pile of bits on the floor there, so we'll see if it works. Ignition. It's cold tonight. Actually working. It is actually fucking working. It's actually working. I can't believe it. Battery's charging. I'm just going to take it on a good road test and see what happens. So I've made my own tensioner, and I've got rid of the original tensioner and the idler that was there on the other idler, and I've just made it up out of another belt I had to get rid of that pump, just for now, to keep it on the road. Happy days. Right, we are going for a road test. We're going to take it on about 20-mile round trip, and hopefully it does the job. So, right, everything's off. We are charging the battery, so we know it's good. We'll put the heated seats on. Power steering works, so that's a bonus. Right then, let's go. So this is, sorry it's dark, but this is a successful test drive. The workaround for getting rid of the active corner and stability pump has worked, although obviously now it's not getting oil pressure to the anti-roll bars, but for now it'll do the job. I'm satisfied, and the car's operational again. Now, is it a Bodge if it works? Well, it is a Bodge, because obviously although all the other ancillaries like power steering and alternator and fan and water pump are working, we don't have our active anti-roll bars working. But I can live with that until I decide whether to get rid of them completely and put standard ones on it, or whether to replace the pump. So if it don't fit, don't force it, and let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe.